Mr. Manley, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This week marks the 31st anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, and we are currently seeing repression of the democracy movement in Hong Kong. We know that Communist China oppresses minority groups and does not respect human rights. In spite of this knowledge, the Harper Conservative government signed a lopsided and anti-democratic investment treaty with China in 2012, the Canada-China FIPPA. This conservative deal gave Chinese state-owned corporations extraordinary powers to challenge our democratic decisions through a secretive private tribunal system. In the years since the FIPPA was signed, with no vote in Parliament, Chinese state-owned corporations have been purchasing Canadian assets and resources. These corporations can seek financial compensation from Canadian taxpayers for the loss of potential profit when our laws and policies get in the way of their profit-taking. Can the government tell us whether any of these Chinese corporations have threatened to use the anti-democratic investor-state provisions of the FIPPA to seek financial compensation from Canadian taxpayers?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the member for this very important question. As I'm sure the member will know, Canada is setting up with its allies around the world to protect the freedom and democracy that have been enjoyed by the people in Hong Kong. As he knows, we have issued a declaration with a number of allies. We have called upon making sure that measures remain in place to protect the freedom and the liberty of people of Hong Kong. We know that the one country, two system has provided the framework under which the people of Hong Kong have been able to create an economy which is resilient, have made of Hong Kong a place where people want to do business, commerce, and trade. And Mr. Speaker, we have expressed our deep concern, and I would refer the member to the joint statement we have issued with the United States, Australia, the United Kingdom. We have spoken with one voice, and we have said we have deep concern that the action by Beijing would undermine, if they were to proceed with this national security law unilaterally, that would undermine the bedrock of what has made Hong Kong, and that we will review the impact that this law could have.
Mr. Manley, you've got about 45 seconds left. Go ahead. Time for a short question. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that was a trick question because this anti-democratic agreement states that a Chinese corporation we wouldn't be able to have permission to disclose that information if there was, in fact, an investor-state dispute. Unlike NAFTA, which had a 6-month period for renegotiation, the Harper Conservatives have locked us into a 15-year agreement with the FIPPA. And is this anti-democratic agreement? Will the government re-engage the Special Committee on Canada-China Relations so we can do a thorough investigation of this conservative sellout to Canadian democracy?
We are out of time there, Mr. Manley. We'll go to the Minister for response. The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank my honourable colleague for that very good question. Canada will pursue trade, of course, always in the interest of Canadians, and we are in the process of reviewing our FIPPA agreements so that those agreements can indeed provide the right framework for us to do trade, Canadians to do trade, with the interests of Canadians always top of mind. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.